As of this filing system with ongoing pandemic-related challenges, let's face it, it is worse than ever. This has to end. We need to invest in the IRS. And today I'd like to highlight a key investment that we can make, simplified filing, and how it would help address precisely the kinds of rampant delays that taxpayers are facing this year. Right now, the IRS is advising taxpayers to file electronically and accurately in order to avoid delays. So, Ms. Collins, as National Taxpayer Advocate, you know that taxpayers have a lot to keep track of when they're filing their taxes, from W-2 income to advanced child tax credit payments to the pandemic stimulus checks. What happens if a family makes an error on their return and doesn't get the number exactly right?
So Democratic lawmakers like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, in Congress have just announced that they will try and pass this expanded monthly child tax credit, everybody. That means many people can expect more checks very soon. So during a news conference, Democratic Senator Michael Bennet, a lawmaker that supports sending out more relief checks to Americans, told reporters Joe Manchin has not slammed the door on this, and we know over the last 6 months that people have spent the money the way we said they were going to spend the money, which is to buy groceries and pay rent. Lawmakers are trying to push for more stimulus payments to be sent out as this crisis just continues across the country. The news conference was held as part of Biden's administration outreach campaign to get millions of families to file their taxes, so they can receive the second half of the payments from the expanded child tax credit, which has helped families keep afloat during this time. Biden pushed to continue the expanded child tax credit for another year as part of his Build Back Better agenda. But friends, we do know that in the 50-50 Senate, Manchin has opposed the expanded child tax credit, and he raises concerns that its price tag could increase the deficit and only worsen inflation. Democratic Representative Rosa DeLauro says she has sent material to Manchin, answering the questions that he has had, adding, "We're not throwing the towel on this, and we want the partnership of all the Democrats and Joe Manchin." So, according to data, on the 15th of each month, parents who signed up to receive the child tax credit received payments of up to $300 per child under 6 and $250 per child ages 6 to 17. Now, I know many of you are wondering why Manchin does not want to support the expanded child tax credit payments. Well, one big concern of Manchin is that Democrats say they cannot satisfy people who don't work benefits.
Diane Schwenke, the CEO of the Grand Junction Area Chamber of Commerce, and as you may have noticed, our special guest has arrived. So on behalf of the Chamber and the community leaders and the business folks who are here with us today, Governor, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to the Western Slope. We think it's the best slope also, but sharing your message outside the halls of the Capitol with regard to your plans for the state. So without further ado, let me introduce the Governor of the great state of Colorado, Jared Polis.
Thank you, Diane. It is a great pleasure to be with you here in beautiful Grand Junction to share with you some of our vision for the state and where we need to go. I shared this vision with the Republicans and Democrats in our state legislature a couple weeks ago, and also had the chance and opportunity to do so in Colorado Springs, and now I'm excited to share it with you in Mason County. First, I want to thank the Grand Junction Area Chamber of Commerce and all your members for the work you're doing to strengthen our economy, to strengthen our communities here on the Western Slope. And of course, I want to thank the community for your resilience and creativity, especially during the pandemic, where Mesa County led the way in so many areas. We've been through a lot these last 2 years, but it never ceases to amaze me how strong the Colorado spirit is, especially in the most difficult of times. I had the opportunity to highlight some of that spirit in my State of the Union in Denver. We invited some of your great staff from the school district, from Central Mesa High School, in celebration of students and faculty members there who stood up a series of vaccination clinics. And many of the students worked 10 to 12 hours a day, even before they themselves were eligible for the vaccine, to successfully vaccinate more than 1,300 community members. And I was proud to be joined by Central Mesa High School staff at the state capitol to celebrate their achievement. And of course, joining us today is Mesa County 51 Superintendent Dr. Diane Serco and Dr. Brian Hill, and I want to thank them for their service. When we look at how Colorado has fared better than most, even during this most recent Omicron wave, it's directly a result of the fact that we have a higher vaccination rate than many of our neighboring states. We're 10th in the nation, and for a large state, that's saying something. Some of the higher states are very small states in the Northeast, so we are among the larger states, one of the top states, and therefore our hospital capacity, while it got close, was never exceeded, and we topped out around 93-94% hospital capacity. Now, there's probably folks here from the hospital and they don't like being at that capacity, but at least it's not over 100. And now, of course, it's decreased and we're back under 90%, and we're very grateful for that. And I would, of course, wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't encourage everybody here to make sure you also get that third dose of the vaccine. It is very effective in maintaining that protection. I did it, my family did it, and of course we were proud to get our 10-year-old and 7-year-old vaccinated as well. One less thing to worry about. Another example of the innovation that Mesa County showed during the pandemic was the 5-Star program, which helped keep Mesa County restaurants open during some of the hardest days of the pandemic, and frankly, it was something that other counties across the state learned from and implemented. And it started right here with Mesa County Health, the commissioners, the city, the business community, you at the chamber, and we are so proud of how that program helped not just Mesa County restaurants, but frankly restaurants in many other areas of the state. Of course, we also know that this area was affected by Mesa County, one of the 3 largest wildfires in the history of our state in the summer of 2020. And of course, the devastating mudslides that restricted access to the area, closed Highway 70 for several weeks. We are joined by our Colorado Department of Transportation Executive Director, Shoshana, who worked tirelessly to get Glenwood Canyon open, which we did ahead of schedule with some innovation and thoughtful engagement with the contractors. We were able to minimize the closure time there, and of course we are working with Mesa County and Garfield and Eagle on additional bypasses for future events, and we want to make sure we make that commitment to maintain access in Western Colorado. We're also joined by a member of my cabinet, Rick Garcia, Department of Local Affairs, who's no stranger as well to Mesa County. He supports a lot of the activities of both the county, the city, affordable housing developments, including here in Grand Junction, and we're excited to have him join